When we look at the NBA over the last 5 years, one trend has transformed the league unlike any other. The three ball has single-handedly changed the game of basketball right before our very eyes. The obsession with high quality, good analytic shots is higher than it's ever been. With lethal long-range shooters at the helm of basketball's offensive boom, teams have scrambled to stock their rosters with range at every position. But of course, this goes beyond the three-point ball. There's also been a ridiculous rise in pace and scoring. A smaller, suppler change is happening at a positional level. We'll get into that in just a second, but first, let's get a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Cove. One thing I absolutely love is music. And for a music lover, what's better than a portable Bluetooth speaker with dumb good quality? In sports, sometimes they say your best ability is availability. Well, I guess you can say the same goes for music. The Commuter 2.0 is where it's at. Its sleek design allows you to take it basically anywhere. This thing has almost as much range as a Stephen Curry jump shot. The speaker can be up to 32 feet away from mobile devices or computers and play without any interruption. Its powerful subwoofer will blow you away, and its battery is good for up to 7 hours. I use the Commuter 2.0 all the time when I'm gaming. It helps set the right vibe. And if I had a pool, I'd use it there too, because it is water resistant, meaning it's great next to the pool, but not in it. You can get the Commuter 2.0 now 65% off by clicking the link in the description and using code GETLIKECOOP at checkout. That's a $200 speaker for only 70 bucks. That's tough to beat. The emergence of the versatile big. Perhaps you guys know a few already, as versatility matters more now than it ever did. Bigs who are able to pull off individual or schematic versatility are among the most valuable players in the entire NBA. And get this, they tried to tell you the big man was dead, but I think it's as skillful as it's ever been. Just because the Joker is one of the best passers in the league doesn't mean he can't take you down to the block and give you buckets. And the same goes for Cat. Just because he's setting records, shooting the ball better than a lot of premier guards in the NBA, that doesn't mean he's not one of the most efficient on-the-block scorers when he wants to be. The league is growing, basketball is changing, and it's a beautiful thing. You see, as the game continues to grow from beyond the arc via guards and wings, the historically lesser skilled big man, they're being called upon to do more than just defend the basket and grab boards. Nowadays, you'll see bigs start the break, initiate the offense, and even knock down a three themselves. And perhaps there's no player more equipped for all of this than the one down in South Beach, Miami's own Bam Adebayo. Even though Bam's three ball does have a long way to go, the rest of his game more than compensates for his in-progress jump shot. And if you only saw the way Bam and the rest of the Miami Heat worked, you know it was only a matter of time. Standing 6'9" with a wingspan nearly 4 inches longer, Bam Adebayo has emerged as the prototype for the modern big, a long athletic player with a devastating blend of skills, smarts, and strength. Selected by the Heat with the 14th overall pick in 2017, Adebayo has grinded his way through Miami's famed culture to reach all-star status in just 2.5 seasons. But how? How has Bam Adebayo achieved this status so quickly? Some players, they're pure athletes. And Bam, let's just say Bam is one of a kind. At the 2017 NBA Combine, in a measure of speed, power, agility, reaction, and quickness known as SPARK, Bam recorded a 103.8 rating, best among all 2017 draft-eligible bigs, and in the 97th percentile among all NBA bigs who participated in the Combine since 2000. Bam is simply absurd. 38-inch vertical, 15 reps on the bench. You're looking at somebody that has the tools to impact the game without touching the basketball. But of course, you guys know the deal. In pro sports, you can't have an impact without first getting opportunity. And in Bam's first 2 seasons in Miami, you could argue he wasn't granted enough of them. Bam's rookie season, he saw more sideline than center court, averaging just 19 minutes a game in 69 appearances. In fact, Bam struggled to crack the Heat's rotation early on, logging an average of just 13 minutes a game in only 11 appearances across Miami's first 20 games. But even with Whiteside's monstrous contract, an outdated skill set, slowing Miami's offense. The 19-year-old Kentucky product still flashed a rare mix of poise and potential in his limited playing time. On offense, the Miami Heat took full advantage of Bam's athleticism from the get-go. Above all, you had to consider him a constant lob threat, which might not sound like a lot to some, but it's an asset that every scorer and playmaker love. Good finishers, they make your job a lot easier, because in the pick and roll, they have a gravity that you just have to respect, or it's going to be an easy 2 points until your team decides to stop it. Bam was a threat from every angle on the court. He used passing lanes created by Miami's fluid motion offense to dive, cut, and angle his way to easy points. And if the points weren't easy, Bam had no problem taking things into his own hands. And even if he wasn't the one getting the bucket, Bam's offensive prowess created opportunities for other Miami Heat to knock down a three or to get to the basket. Bam was a savvy player whose offensive IQ went well beyond his years. As a rookie, my man Bam was one of the best screeners in the league. He ranked second among all rookies in both screen assists and screen assist points for the 2017-18 season. But despite everything I just said, Bam was still a project on offense. Sometimes it's easy to forget. Basketball is a two-way game. You're expected to play offense and defense. This isn't soccer, though I do have mad love for my box-to-box players. Defensively, Bam was making a name for himself. Two-handed blocks, steals off of lockdown seals, and smothering one-on-one defense against the league's top guards and shooters. Defensively, Bam could do it all, but was it enough to make the All-NBA rookie team? No. He missed the team by a single vote, and Bam's reaction? You could call it a chip on his shoulder or somebody that knew their time was coming. Entering the summer of 2018, Bam was intent on sharpening the tools he touted thus far, putting in bi-weekly workouts with teammates and former All-Star Rasheed Wallace. Bam was hungry. He said being versatile, it's a big thing for the Miami Heat. I'm going to work on everything, my whole arsenal, mid-range game, low post. I want to be more offensive-minded and aggressive. And he was. Even though the numbers wouldn't tell you everything, they almost never do. Through the Heat's first 56 games of the 2018-2019 season, statistically, everything was a marginal improvement. Though the highlights were heavy, the leap that many expected didn't quite take place until the All-Star break. Following the mid-season break, Erik Spoelstra finally made the move that many had been calling for, starting Bam over Whiteside. Bam had made Whiteside expendable. The writing was on the wall. Somebody just had to read it. In Miami's final 25 games, Bam had more double-doubles than the entire 56 games he played prior. On a per-possession basis, the team was significantly better with Bam in the lineup. That summer, the Heat had seen enough. They shipped Whiteside to Portland. This was one of several moves made to surround Bam with a complimentary supporting cast. With the Miami Heat losing a franchise legend and one of the greatest shooting guards to ever play basketball in Dwayne Wade, Miami looked towards the future. The Big Three Heat, they'll never be forgotten, one of the greatest basketball teams to ever play. And coincidentally, the Big Three Heat also had a do-it-all big man that I feel like was underappreciated by the casual NBA fan. Some people forget exactly what Bosh sacrificed and what he did for those Miami Heat teams, and the fact he was hands down one of the best players in the NBA in Toronto, and the same went for Miami. Remember, I told you guys, numbers don't tell the full story. They never do. The Heat had completely reshaped their roster, executing a multi-team deal for all-star guard Jimmy Butler. While some people called Jimmy Butler toxic, Miami called it a vibe. Jimmy Butler in Miami was the perfect mix culture-wise and on so many different levels basketball-wise. People question the move. Why leave a good situation, Jimmy? Maybe it's because Jimmy saw a better one. Maybe it's because he saw what Miami was building or had the potential to build. Miami is one of the most versatile defensive teams in the entire NBA. And their best players? Two-way premier defenders. How often can you say that? But of course, this Heat team consists much more of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. They have buckets too. Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Herro. Who did I mention can flat out fill it up? Some people, they see some deep book in his game. What I see an absolute scorer whose potential is out of this world. Miami wasn't the only one getting better though. Remember how I talked about Chris Bosh, Miami Heat legend, right? Well, he was helping Bam Adebayo improve his offensive game. During the summer, Bosh didn't just set out to improve his jump hook. He had Adebayo viewing the game and approaching the game offensively in a different way. This past season, Bam has solidified himself as an all-star and a focal point of Miami's game plan. He's able to guard every player, big or small, at a very high level. And in a league that loves pick and roll, that's absolutely invaluable. I've seen Defensive Player of the Year candidates get played off the floor in the playoffs because they can't guard the screen and roll. Bam's lateral quickness and reactions are a thing of beauty, but perhaps Bam's most obvious jump came on offense. His rookie and sophomore season, an off the bench energy player, to now, like I said, the centerpiece of Miami's motion-heavy system, facilitating countless handoff, precision passes, and explosive dribble drives to where if you're not careful, you just might get dunked on. He ranks second among centers in assists per game, and his shot, it's coming around. He shoots 42% on shots 10 to 16 feet from the basket. That's a full 10% improvement from his rookie year. In less than 3 years, Bam Adebayo has gone from arguable lottery project to a bona fide star. At this rate, who knows what's next? Maybe Adebayo is Giannis and the Bucks' kryptonite. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Yo, be sure to click the video on the screen right now, guys. It's incredibly dope. Be sure to subscribe. Noties on. I'm GETLIKECOOP, and I'm out. The Emergence.